listen carefully, because this may be the first time you ever heard this. You don't control your thoughts. You don't control the thoughts that come into your head. Let me put it that way. There are other forces that can plant thoughts in your head. And that's one of the things about being energetically aware that you don't hear any other personal development trainer or teacher tell you. That there's an energy, an essence that can place dark thoughts into your head. So, for example, you're thinking about something. I'll give you an example. I'm from San Francisco. I'm driving down the Golden Gate Bridge, right? Driving down the Golden Gate Bridge. Anybody who ever been on that bridge, you see it's a 2-lane highway. And the only thing that separates the ongoing cars are these little plastic cones. So they usually call it Blood Alley because there's so many accidents down there. This is how I realize we don't control the thoughts that come into our head. So I'm driving down one day. I'm driving across the bridge. I'm listening to the thoughts in my head. And the thoughts are saying, oh, what a nice view from the bridge. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, the car's running pretty good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, you're gonna be on time for your date, maybe a little early. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then the thought says, why don't you jump the curb and drive head on to the oncoming traffic? I'm like, what? Drive across the lane and drive into the oncoming traffic? That'd be suicide. Where did that thought come from? Whoa, that's not my thought. That's not something that I would choose to do. Someone or something, whatever it is, can put thoughts into my head that aren't of my choosing and try to get me to do whacked out things. Now, watch this, you guys. How many of you have ever had whacked out thoughts that you wonder, where the hell did that come from? Let me see a show of hands. Everybody. I see a show of hands. One guy's not raising his hand, but everybody else says, yeah, like, how can I think such a thing? or you're in a building. I remember one time I was in Manhattan on the 68th floor of a friend of mine's apartment, and we went out on the terrace on the 68th floor. Man, that's high up. So I'm out on the terrace, and I'm kind of, man, what a nice view it is up here. Wow, living in New York. Yeah. And the thought comes, jump. Why don't you jump? Go ahead, jump. And I went, what? Where'd that thought come from? God, it's not my thought. I went back in. Crazy. But that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with energies. One energy wants to help you. One energy wants to have you have a fabulous life and filled with love and joy and happiness. But there's another energy that doesn't want that. There's another energy whose job it is to pull you out of your good and bring you into this vibration of darkness. I call it the low vibration energy. It's a place where people suffer. When you're worried, when you're in anxiety, when you're stressed, you're like, oh no, what is that? That's suffering. It's something that you don't want, something you're afraid of. And these are two clear energies that operate in this world. They never taught us this in high school or college. Why didn't they ever tell us that there are energies that actually threaten us, that are trying to sabotage us if we're not energetically aware? Now, if you're energetically aware, and this is what I'm teaching, you have full power over that darkness. You have full power because the light is always stronger than the darkness. Unless you don't use it. If you don't use it, then there is no light and it's only darkness. And that's why when you see depressed people, you see people who are dark or negative, they're wrapped up in this negativity. We all know people, who are just, man, they're just filled with anxiety, stress, worry, doubt, fear. Now, these energies that no one told us, they're contagious. For example, you get around someone, how you doing? And you get around somebody who's depressed or negative, and you go, oh, how's your day going? My day's going terrible, man. Nothing seems to be working out for me. Life just sucks. I don't know how you is that going to have an effect on you? you better believe it's going to, you're like, or someone says, how's your day going? Oh, it's going rotten, man. It's just the one thing after the other. I just can't seem to get going. And you're like, okay. Has an effect on you. Energy is contagious. And both energies are the good, the healthy energies, right? The energies that we want. When you're around great people or you're around fans, let's say your favorite ball team, your favorite sports team, you go to the stadium and 50,000 people, are fans of the team, and you're like, the crowd, there's an energy there. But that works both ways. It works in the unhealthy energies too. It works when you're around people who are dark or negative or low vibration energy, they have an effect on you. So energy awareness says, stay away from that. We don't want to have anything to do with the negativity, because negativity and low vibration and darkness attract more darkness, unless you're energetically aware and you know how to protect yourself. And that's what we teach here in the training.